Right. So I'm sitting here getting ready to film this, doing some research, trying to figure out what exactly am I going to say, what exactly am I going to talk about, what's the material I'm going to reference, all that jazz. First video I come to, I'm thinking, you know, we're getting close to the election here. I'm going to do like this whole freaking election recap, everything that's happened so far, you know, what that means for November 5th, telling you to go vote, all these things. And then the first video I open up is freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. This is some kind of music video from the Warp Zone with 3 million subscribers. Definitely well deserved. I've heard like 10 seconds of this so far. Let's listen to the whole thing. This is awesome.
Oh, here we go again. Let's dive into the GOP rabbit hole. Starts way back at the storming of the Capitol. Add another stormy and a slew of indictments. Pretty rough start to the path that the right went. Primary up from Milwaukee to Miami. Oh, presidential dreams came and went like some cameos. Haley and DeSantis begrudgingly bounced.
Am I the only one that just absolutely despised Nikki Haley? Like, it doesn't compare to my burning hatred for Kamala Harris, but man, something about her. She was respectful and respectable and seemed kind of decent, but it just seemed like such a fucking warmonger. Was I the only one? Well, I know I wasn't the only one, but am I the only libertarian who thought that? I don't know.
Trump's still the guy, but with 34 counts. And Biden's riding Sammy steadily. Debt's been forgiven and the facts is readily available. But the world's on fire, now he's gotta talk his way into getting rehired. ATL face off with the factions. Oldest men to do it since, well, the last one. But they're so badass, morals of an alley cat. Riffing on Medicare and setting up a golf match.
I feel like that debate was probably the most impactful presidential debate that we've ever had as a nation. Potentially, I say that with a little bit of scrutiny, but the degree to which everybody's politics changed with the Trump-Biden debate from this year is kind of astounding, realistically. I mean, the right had been, I don't even want to call it the right, the rational percentage of Americans have been saying, and actually for non-Americans as well, both foreign media and just foreign individuals, and every rational American has been saying for the past 4 years, Biden's not there. He's just not there. It's not personal. He's too old. He's geriatric. He doesn't know what's going on. We all said this. And the far left and the American media and the politicians all said, no, he's fine. You're making it up. He's totally fine. And the left seemed to believe that. They actually bought that until that debate. And it was just staring them right in the face and nobody could ignore it. And immediately, just like that, the left completely abandoned Biden. The Democratic Party abandoned Biden. Everybody abandoned Biden and just switched to the next candidate in a, let's call it what it is, political coup to Kamala Harris. Hence why we're here today.
Rights in Gaza, both dudes rambled and came up with nada. Republicans sticking with wild orange pageantry. Democrats about to rip up their whole strategy.
Biden was 29 when he debuted. Once the whiz kid, still with it. Fingers crossed till at least 82.
Folks, let's...
Alright, look, how old am I? I'm 21. I wasn't old enough at the time to know his policies or anything like that. I'm sure I would disagree with a lot of his policies. I know some, but I don't know many. That said, younger Biden was kind of a legend. He was a fantastic politician. If we had younger Biden as president for the past 4 years, I would have been totally fine with that. Again, I'm sure plenty of his policies I wouldn't have liked, but just from the videos I've seen of him back in the day, in his prime, or not even prime, but political prime at least, he was cool. He was cool. Although he wasn't MAGA Biden. I like MAGA Biden.
Listen, the Dems are all cool with me. Maybe Joe, but Donnie's got immunity. Thanks, SCOTUS, but now it gets weird. Butler Alley shooting causes maxi pad ears.
That was weird. Of all the what would you call it? Memorabilia is the wrong word, but you know, of all the memorabilia you could wear to show your support for Donald Trump, really? That?
Butler Alley shooting causes maxi pad ears. RNC party with the Hulkster, Kid Rock, Beardy, Vietnam was real good at small talk.
Yeah, you know, I'm taking these off the wrong way. The whole Hulk Hogan thing just seemed like a bad idea. That one is also before my time, so I wouldn't even appreciate it. I realize that, so I don't want to talk out of turn here, but that was not the image that the Republican Party needed at the time. And again, of course, I'm Libertarian Party, so who gives a fuck? But realistically, that was a stupid move. That was a stupid move. Elon's making it worse, by the way. I want to clarify, Elon Musk is a personal hero of mine. I love the guy to death. But you can't put him on stage. It doesn't end well. The victory rah, he said. Oh, God, that was so awkward. This is so awkward. The friggin' hell. Whose idea?
How long have you worked here? 2 years. Good.
Biden gets the virus just to pile on the drama, bro. Reaches for the ropes and tags in Kamala. Butts unclenched, Dems ain't looking so bad. At a Veep and a Minnesotan coach dad. The DNC's trying to pump you up. Obama's wonder pink and turned down for what? Finally to Philly for some real debating. Wanna talk fracking? Nope, just immigration. Venezuelans, Haitians, lacking stats.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
Healthcare's a right, Harris made that a stance. For that, Trump's totes got the concept of a plan. Abortion lies, fact check, questioned her blackness. Ego wrecked, hearing that his rallies are the wackest. Ukraine, Afghanistan.
Sorry, I'm trying to stop myself and comment on this as I go, but this is really, really well done. I'm kind of vibing with this. I was going to say something, and I already forgot what it was. I have no idea. Let's go back a minute. J.D. Vance. I had never friggin' heard of this guy. I never heard of this guy. I live in Indiana, born and raised. Ohio senator, you'd think I'd kind of hear about him. Nope, never heard of him in my entire freaking life. I was very much pro Trump Vivek ticket, words. I was so freaking rooting for that. I love Vivek Ramaswamy. Never heard of this guy. When they made the announcement, I was really kind of bummed out because I had no idea who this was. I knew I liked Vivek. Never heard of this guy. It's probably not important. And then I watched one interview with the guy, and I'm like, holy shit. This is exactly what I'm looking for in a politician. Professional, respectable, but most importantly, down to fucking earth. He's an American citizen. You feel that coming off him. He's like my neighbor in more ways than one. Like, the dude is fantastic. Semper Fi, by the way. Like, everything is going for him. I was in the Marines, by the way, very briefly, but that's a different story. So, the dude's freaking awesome. I'm rooting for him so hard. I heard something, I can't confirm this, but I've heard whispers that Joe Rogan has said after his interview with Vance that he'll, said publicly at least, that he'll be voting for Trump so that Vance has a shot at the White House. And I couldn't agree more with that. I like Trump these days. I was a little skeptical about him in my past, but I like him a lot now. But that right there is the mentality that I'm definitely bringing to the voting booth. I was already going to vote for Trump anyway, but now this is what I'm thinking of now is, yeah, you know what? I want Vance in there. God forbid something happened to Trump. I want Vance in charge. And also, for next election, I hope Vance runs again. You know, I would love to have him at the helm. That'd be great. So, yeah, love the guy. Can't wait to see what he does when he wins the election. Because I think they will, probably. Go vote.
Afghanistan peaceful transfer hit a lot of topics and got like 2 answers. If you're undecided this late in the game, Taylor had a blank space and wrote 1 name.
She's in town right now. Out the window. I'm looking at the stadium right now. I got a downtown apartment in Indianapolis. I'm staring directly the fuck at the stadium where she's singing right now. And you know what? Traffic, not as bad as I thought it'd be.
Trump's gotten weirder since Biden peace. Now the old fart who loves charts and who claims to be clear mentally.
Call her daddy, Howard Stern, Oprah, and The View. Harris everywhere, even Fox News.
Of all of the places, of all of the goddamn podcasts that you could do to try and connect with the American people, you chose Call Her Daddy. Thank God I had never heard of that podcast until Kamala appeared on it. Never heard of it. Wow, I missed the days when I was missing that. Holy shit. Lost all faith in the female species. But anyway, what? Why? How is that a good look for you? I know your entire campaign is based on infanticide, and that's what basically all the viewers of that podcast love. But why? God damn. I'm sorry. It just kind of pisses me off because it's such a degenerate freaking podcast. And moving on.
All the smoke, chronic talk, late show, Miller chug, Univision Town Hall, Trump's has got a day of love. Walls, hot dishes on Kimmel and Smartless, pheasant hunting, schooling us and fatherly car tips, VP debate, Vance left forgotten. Like how Vance blanked on how that 2020 loss went.
I hate Walls. I hate him so much. Like, he's a friggin' idiot. He's a fucking idiot. Okay. Alright. If you don't know the shit he pulled in the military, please look it up. I'm going to get a bunch of details wrong if I try to explain it, so I'm just not. I don't want to butcher the story. It's really shitty what he did to everybody underneath him. like really fucking shitty, you don't fucking do what he did ever. Not cool. Yeah, fuck the guy. He said he was in places he never was. He said he did things he's never done. Fuck him. Piece of shit. Also, idiot. Also, kind of insane. Does he not have like the crazy eyes? Like in women? Crazy eyes? He's got that for dudes. Didn't know it was a thing. It's a thing.
Elite car tips, VP debate, at best left forgotten. Like a Vance blanked on how that 2020 loss went. Speaking of that, Woodward book drops how Trump said COVID test equipment back to Moscow. No more debates, but the rallies have their pluses. Headline Coachella, no flower crowns or buses. Who's in their corners? Celebrity endorsers, kicker rookie A's, ex-nerd Kurt Warner. Or cat is Bats, Babs, Drax, one who knocks. Stevie, Cardi, Billy, Aubrey, Jordy, and the boss. Listen up, y'all know it's time for deciding. How does this country resume after Biden? Small business credits and new parent tax cuts, lower prescriptions, build that middle class up. Milton laid havoc, so aid is imperative. Gun laws can pivot our harrowing narrative. Foreign diplomacy, NATO alliance. Governments shouldn't be OBGYNs. One of these candidates will be our president. RFK, well, that guy's barely worth mentioning. Base it on policy, go with your guts. Get out and vote, cause it's all up to us.
Given that I'm sure most of my viewers are libertarians, I think we're probably on agreement that we loved Kennedy. I loved Kennedy. I'm sure you probably did too. Every libertarian I've spoken to has freaking loved the guy. If I thought he had even remotely a shot, I would 100% have been voting for him. But the fact that he got as far as he did is absolutely phenomenal, especially for us as libertarians, because we're the third biggest party, I believe. And that's not saying much, but I believe we're the third biggest. So if an independent can get that far, just on his own merit and being such a better option, that spells some good future for libertarians, for libertarian candidates. Because as of yet, I mean, every libertarian candidate we've had has run on the Republican ticket for the past couple of elections at least. It would be nice to actually have some purple in there. That's all I'm saying. I started all of this by saying that I wanted to make a video about, kind of recapping the election, or recapping everything that's happened so far, and then figuring out who has the best shot at winning the election. And by that I mean winning the popular vote. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a fair election, but different video, different day. Don't want to get demonetized just yet. There was one thought I had though that I knew I wanted to cover before everything kind of changed on me a little bit, which is I actually do think that Kamala has a better shot than we think she does, which scares the shit out of me because I don't want her to win. But I do actually think that they've done one thing very, very right, and I still think she's way far behind. The polls are bullshit. They're lying. Fun fact, I believe the number is 73%. Check me on that, but I believe it's 73% of people who are polled are registered Democrats. Average of 73%. So it's already skewed. And then of course they're such tiny fucking sample sets. Have you ever met somebody who's been polled? Have you ever been polled? Have you met somebody who's been polled? Let me know in the comments, because I never heard of anybody who knew anybody who knew anybody who knew anybody who's ever been polled. It's bullshit. I don't buy the polls. I do buy the gambling sites though, because people don't want to fucking lose money. And it's pretty damn clear Trump has a major fucking lead. And he particularly has a major lead after the whole, anti-Christian thing from Kamala. I made a video on that. Check it the fuck out. But what Kamala's team has done right, that Trump's has quite frankly dropped the freaking ball on, is their overall tactic against the other side, which is to say, Trump's team has used a lot of rational thinking and a lot of positive future thinking. A lot of it. And that sounds great. And it is great. I want that. You want that. Everybody wants that. Everyone wishes that's all it was. Rational and positive for the future. And I'm not saying that's all it was. I'm just saying they've leaned into that heavily. Kamala's team has done the exact opposite. All they've done is try and emotionally manipulate Americans by fear-mongering them and just everything negative, emotional against Trump. That's been their primary tactic. Just slander Trump at every fucking turn. Make him a convicted felon. Insult him every single time you go on a podcast. And replace your answer to every question with Trump bad. And just convince all of your followers that Trump is going to kill them, basically. Just like the worst thing you can imagine. Hitler, right? And as insane as that is, and as much as you wish this weren't the case, it is extremely easy to manipulate people, especially en masse. We've learned this thousands of times throughout history. Hitler is, in fact, a really good example of that. And if you want to manipulate mass groups of people, the best way to do that is to make them afraid. And so, while it's a terrible tactic I wish nobody used, I do think it's going to get Kamala a lot more votes than we think it is. Even though any intelligent person is not going to vote for Kamala, a lot of people who are just reacting out of fear very, very well might. So I do think that's going to be a tighter election than we are kind of hoping it will be, and tighter than the gambling sites are actually saying it are actually anticipating it to be. But I still think it's going to be pretty much a landslide. I don't think Kamala can recover from the Christian remark she made. I really, really don't. I think that sealed the deal for Trump. But let me know what you think. And please, for fuck's sake, go vote.
We as Americans love stuff that's free. It's no trouble, just bubble in your vote and you'll make history.